Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Mojo, you were actually first from the time that I started the stream, so yes. Disco jumped the gun a little bit. He was maybe 30, 45 minutes early. But that's fine. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's been a fun, interesting week for me so far. But the good news is everything is status normal, I think. Hold on. My mom is texting me. Mommy, no, not at the moment. Maybe she'll show up to the stream today. Who knows? Anyway, hi. Hello, Thindal. Hello, Disco. Hello, Zoltra Lord. 1146 is first. Well, good, because that's in my future. Dugasoft says, hi, Mom. I'm on stream. Oh, man. So, hi. It has been a hot minute. Hello, Napalm. I hope you're doing well. I've been spotty with my streams over the past holiday time period, but then I had an unexpected situation happen. I won't tell you too much about it, but I will give my really quick storytelling session, which is I got a new video card for one of my computers. It needed 4 PCIe connections, and its current power supply only had 2 PCIe power connectors. So I needed to transplant the power supply from one of the other machines into that one and then swap them out. And then I found out that that one didn't work in the other machine. And come to think of it, I'm pretty sure it did. But in any case, I took the video card from that machine, put it in this one because it was an RTX card, and this machine didn't have an RTX card. And in doing so, by connecting the cables incorrectly, I fried this machine's power supply. I heard a nice little pop as soon as I turned it on, and all of the lights went out, and it started smelling like burnt circuitry. So I needed to order a new power supply. Magic. There was actually no smoke, but it did smell. And so Thindal commented, yeah, exactly, Mojo. Thindal commented that that smell is the smell of sadness, but at the same time, it's such a good smell. It's a really, I do love that smell. I don't want it to happen again, or ever, but I liked it, the smell. So anyway, after a long fiasco, I'm not even going to talk about the issue with getting the power supply unit. That just frustrated me to no end. So we're going to skip that part of the story and come to this part of the story, which is I now have an RTX 2080 in my streaming computer. I have an RTX 4090 in the computer that's running all of the AI models and stuff. And then I have power supplies in all of the machines that needed the power supplies. And everything is back up and running. So yeah. All right, so that's my story to start off our community day. It is indeed community day on our channel, and what that means for us is that I will be opening up the stream voice channel, or the Discord voice channel. I see Thindal's already hanging out in the community hangout. But if any of you would also like to join the stream with your voice, I will open that up so you can join. Thindal, let me know if you are wanting to actually hop into the voice channel or if you're just hanging out in community hangout for the heck of it. And here's my desktop. Right, so of course, changing out my video card means I don't have any display sources. And this is the Vizio monitor. And there we have it. Yes, you absolutely can, Dukasoft. Oh no, it doesn't matter. Any of the voice channel, just join any of the voice channels. But Thindal will be hopping in, so you can mute the stream. I'm pulling you into the not you guys. Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys want to mute the stream or not when I pull Thindal in. But anyway, Thindal, I'm pulling you into the stream room so you can mute your stream sound. Oh, I'm starting the virtual camera.
Hello.
Hello. Good sound quality. Good sound check. Let me get the stream camera turned on. There we go. So now you can see in Discord. I was going to say OBS.
I can see you in all the pixels.
Dukasoft has a new bot command for you, or a new stream elements command.
Oh, Thindal is awesome.
Okay, let's give Automated Realms a quick test. Tell us about Thindal and his streams. I mean, it's not going to go to like Twitch or anything and find out who you are. Thindal is a streamer who loves to play games and have fun with his viewers. He is known for his sense of humor and his ability to keep the chat entertained. I love how it just hallucinates. He is also a great gamer and also strives to improve his skills. He's a great guy to watch and chat with, and I am sure you will enjoy his streams. Change out gamer for .NET developer and that works.
Aw. I think I like Automated Realms. It's nice to be.
So that was a 13 billion parameter model that I loaded.
Billion?
13 billion parameter. So the one that I was using previously was a 7 billion parameter. Mm-hmm. And this one's a 13 billion, and it responds so fast. So super duper fast now.
I have no idea what a parameter is, but 13 billion is many of them.
Yeah. So think of them like columns in a table. So each parameter gets a weight. And
it's over 9,000.
It's over 9,000.
Oh, it's to construct the LLM tree, right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
And Napalm wants to hop in, so I am pulling him in too. Cool.
Hey,
and
Sean.
While you guys say hello to everyone, I am going to go ahead and test out this thing, the archery thingy, because I haven't touched it for a while.
So hey, sorry about that. I was getting the extra audio feed muted.
Well, no worries.
You know, be sorry. You be awesome.
I don't know about that these days, but I'll do what I can.
Nah. Hey, you are. You are.
So happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, it's
yeah. It's 2024. Think of it this way, Sean. It can only get better, right?
You say that, but life has a funny way of knocking you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, for me, it definitely can get better. The whole getting a new PSU fiasco is just...
Yeah. Expensive, or did you manage to get something
just the process
cheap?
Yeah, it was a $240 PSU.
That's not cheap though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, being 1,000 watt and fully modular, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but it doesn't give you anything beyond, here is power.
Right.
Having all of the watts doesn't, improve your performance. I've been listening to too much Wattman lately. Yeah, I keep sending that destroy all software talk, so I'm not even going to. But it's funny.
I am in the midst of fixing unit tests. Yay.
Yay!
Gotta say, the Copilot makes that experience so much nicer. I mean, I still get annoyed with having to write unit tests because it's unit tests, but it's a lot more intuitive and quick with Copilot.
Yeah. Have you tried chat and just sitting in the class and writing /test?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
I mean, it's okay. I have to go a little step further. I gotta do /test fake it easy because I like to use fake it easy. And it always wants to use mock by default.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you give it a parameter, then it actually uses the right faking library, does it?
Yeah, I mean, I usually do /test fake it easy or use fake it easy and it works.
I didn't even know you could do that. So
there you go.
Could you tell me about fake it easy? Because I have never used it. I've used mock and substitute.
So I've always preferred it because, for me anyway, it uses a fluent interface on top of it. So it's a lot like mock in a lot of ways, and some of the stuff converts fairly close to what the mock stuff does. But it uses fluent, basically everything off of one character, the A class. So you do a.fake, and you give it an interface, and there you go, you have a fake. And you can say a fake particular method call, must return, blah, and stuff like that. But everything is a fake. It gets you out of the whole stubs and mocks and dummy classes and stuff. Just make everything a fake.
Yeah. Does it do dependency injection?
How so?
I'm not sure if you've ever used AutoMock.
No, actually haven't.
It's a part of MOQ. What it does is you tell it to mock everything, and then you can give it mock implementations as usual, and then you just ask it to activate a class. It's basically a .di container that's entirely mocked.
No, never even looked into that. That's cool. I'll have to check, see if there's something equivalent.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. You can also, you can mock multiple levels down and such, so...
Oh, yeah.
I always liked fake it easy. I don't know. It's one of those things that once you get attached to something, it's a little hard to want to let it go. And
yeah, I'm going to take a look at it.
You definitely can't beat their tagline for the project. It's faking awesome.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh man. Thank you so much, Captain Commerce.
I think the whole MOQ thing kind of exploded more than it deserved. I'm not sure if I've talked about that before.
Auto mocking with fake it easy and auto fixture. So looks like there is a way to do that.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I've done this before. Okay, I forgot about auto fixture. Yeah, I've used this. Okay.
Real quick, if you guys don't know Captain Commerce, there's a link to follow, a heart to follow him at the top of chat if you aren't already. He's another .NET developer that's amazing, and he streams Mondays and Fridays typically in the evenings my time. The end. Go ahead, you guys.
AKA way too early in the morning my time.
Yeah.
I'll just post in chat for people that might be interested. Fake it easy. GitHub IO. Enjoy.
Thank you. So, Captain, what I need is for you to change your entire life and schedule around mine. No one got
if he
that
can
joke
even hear
and
you,
thought
he
it was
probably...
funny.
Oh, there he is. He said you got it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Or you got it, Thindal. Okay, so he's going to be more brief now.
Well, I kind of liked him not being brief, you know?
Yeah, but he included the instructions and gave me 2 messages back.
Yeah,
it's good to know that
the
my
response
message
to
chunking works. Oh, yeah.
I felt very appreciated.
That was
Not
really
sure.
cool.
Did you see it, Sean?
Sorry, I was looking at my code. What's up?
Yeah. Automated Realms gave me like a huge description of me being awesome.
Yeah. An awesome gamer,
Australia.
but then we just swapped out the word .NET developer.
Yeah. Yeah, he got tons of stuff wrong, but it really, called stoked my confidence, or,
Nothing
it said
wrong with
nice
a confidence
things.
boost.
Yeah, it said nice things about me.
There you go.
Yeah. And then here comes our dear one lion, and I'm gonna nerf you.
Is that good, VJ? Do you want me to call you Snazzy from now on? You're gonna nerf me though? Oh no. I wasn't nerfing it. I was just trying to get the instruction template so that it doesn't print out the instructions that I give it.
Ah, okay.
Yay,
I will allow it.
I wish I knew how many points I got for this one though. I guess it would be the current height of the target divided by 2. Does anyone see where the height of the target is? I don't even have that.
We have hit target.
Yeah, but I need the height of the target so I can calculate how many points I got so that I can determine whether I need to... Oh, the target elevation is 0 through 0.8. Wow, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. No.
That was many numbers.
Did I just Control C? I meant to
all the numbers.
But yes, you want us to call you Snazzy then? Snazzy. If you guys don't know that, it's good VJ.
So guess what kind of fun I had last night?
You burnt out a power supply and needed to...
No, I had more fun than that.
You already did that once though.
Yeah, I did. I also fried a graphics card. Not
it was your graphics card.
Also the graphics card.
Oh, both?
Yeah,
oh,
I've fried PSUs as well. I've fried all of the things.
Jeez. Anyway, what kind of fun did you get up to last night?
I was doing stage testing.
Like making sure that the stage works for the play that you're putting on?
Testing the system in a staging environment.
That requires talent burning up all 3. But sorry,
So,
you were say again. I was
Yeah, I was testing a system in a staging environment manually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so next step tonight is rerunning all the tests to make sure I'm not totally incompetent, which I'm not sure about, and then deploy.
Pretty sure you're not.
On a
if
Friday
any developer is ever sure that they're not totally incompetent, they're lying.
Yeah, probably. But then I'm going to do the most incompetent thing you could ever do. I'm going to make a deployment to live on a Friday night.
Never deploy on Fridays. No deploy Fridays.
Yeah, Fridays are read-only.
Yep.
Yeah. You'd think so. But then there is me.
And heaven help you if you approve a junior or an intern's merge request on a Friday and they click the little merge button and it auto deploys. Yeah.
Tyron says, don't do it. Just don't.
On the good side, or on the plus side, this is my own system.
Get some help.
And if it crashes horribly, I'm the one who's going to have to fix it. And I don't really have anything else planned this weekend.
Well, there you go.
On Monday, the users are going to start popping in again, so I'd rather have it crash during down hours.
Unrelated, it's amazing how much your unit test code coverage goes up when you just start deleting stuff. It's great.
I had a customer.
Slews of methods and classes.
Yeah. I was really, on top of a customer. We have hundreds of thousands of lines of code and 0 tests. Literally none. It's like, we need tests. And then they bring in a testing consultant who spends 3 weeks basically saying what I'd been saying for a year. Like, you need tests. And then they spent 2 sprints just building tests. So they got I think 3,500 tests done in 4 weeks, which is great. But after that consultant left, when they did a code change that broke a test, they deleted the test. Because that's the easiest way to get them to pass. It's just remove them, right?
Right.
Yeah. That way you have no broken tests.
Yes.
Okay, so story time here. I'm gonna say that like I started with, I want to say 46% code coverage, and with all the deletes I've done up to 86. While exciting, it is also sad because I spent my entire day yesterday working on something that a colleague proceeded to tell me, you know what, you probably shouldn't do that in your code anyway, because long story short, Azure Batch, if you don't know, basically is the concept of jobs and tasks. Apparently, I thought, oh, you should kick off a job asynchronously for every particular, in this case, we're talking about a patient hip scan is done. So you should have a new job for every, time that happens. Apparently, Azure Batch uses jobs differently in that it's a prioritization mechanism. So all of your tasks should be within the same job. I was creating the job in my code, and I was also building a distributed locking mechanism for the race conditions I was running into creating that job. Built a really great solution, and I just had to delete it all.
Nice. So the jobs were running in the wrong order, I guess?
No, not that. Just I was literally creating, like, okay, you get a patient case in for XYZ. I was creating a job for patient XYZ, case XYZ, with as many tasks specific to that patient in it as necessary. And apparently that's frowned upon in Azure Batch. They don't want you creating a ton of jobs because there's account limits on that, and they use it as a prioritization mechanism to say maybe you have, I don't know, some other type of processing that should be done before you do a different job.
Sounds smart, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at jobs as a logical grouping mechanism, and fail trombone. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, but I mean, now you learned that, right?
I did.
And any day that you learn something new is not a wasted day.
Oh yeah, I learned how to do distributed locking in Azure across functions.
Yay!
So that's
Yay!
great. Yay.
Like, 99% of the world will just look at you with a blank stare and say, okay.
I can't talk to my wife about this. She says I might as well be speaking Chinese.
But this crowd really appreciates you, and, we can learn from you.
Well, children, don't introduce distributed locking until you're sure you need it. That's all I gotta say.
Don't distribute stuff until you know that you need it.
Well, that too, but
yeah.
I will say it's interesting because these jobs are doing conversion. Like, I mean, if you haven't figured out, I work for a medical organization, and they're converting different types of like CT images and 3D models for bones. It's neat.
And I do CRUD.
I mean, I do CRUD too. We all do CRUD.
Yeah, sometimes
Sorry,
I
one line
actually do
kind
some
of
stuff as well.
took over the conversation.
Oh, please continue. I am. You are doing absolutely what you should be doing. I really appreciate you guys being
doing
here.
archery.
Yeah. But who does Excel? Oh no, did that copy not actually work? Oh, please don't.
Captain Shadow IT does Excel. And then that person leaves, and the entire organization just falls apart.
If I ever start my own organization, I'm banning Excel and Access. Just no. There be demons here.
They're the best. Like, that's what I would structure everything off of.
Oh, they're
Excel.
great until somebody's like, I can just totally make this app myself. I don't need anybody to do it for me. What could go wrong?
Yeah, and then they do it, and it works. As long as everything is, the way they want and their input. But then they quit, and you wipe their, OneDrive or G Drive or whatever. And then all of a sudden, the whole company grinds to a halt because it turns out that Excel document ran the entire company.
Yep. To be fair, I have made quite a chunk of change converting crappy Access Excel VB6 apps in my lifetime. So,
Yeah, but
Thank
who
you
made
for
those?
Who made the original apps? Oh yeah, the people were long gone before they realized they needed to make it a real app.
Yeah.
A big boy app.
And were they IT or things like HR and
they were business
payroll
users.
and yeah, exactly.
That's why I said.
And what would have
totally
happened?
ban it.
Yeah.
At least
I mean, that's the definition of shadow IT.
You can have Excel, but don't give me any macros that you want in real applications. Just come to me first. Anyway, that's my soapbox.
Real quick, I don't know if you guys saw this. I know you're busy in your conversation. I don't mean to interrupt, but this was just funny.
Hey, it's your stream.
I told the bot what's up with the single quotes around its response, because its first response I put apostrophes around each side, and I was like, what's up with the single quotes? And it's like, I'm not sure what you mean by single quotes, and it put single quotes around that.
That's nice.
Oh my goodness, you're hilarious.
Almost like a screw you.
Yeah.
One of my first
code deletions I made worked.
One of your deletions?
I just, like I talked about, I whacked a whole bunch of code in this project. I hadn't tested it yet. I just updated the unit test before I tested it, as you do. And it worked first time.
You're doing it the other way around from my customer then. Instead of, oh crap, the test fails, I better delete the test. You go, oh crap, the test fails, I better remove the feature.
Pretty much.
Whoa.
One of the first page projects that I ever did, I think it was 14 or 15 when I got paid for coding the first time, used an Access backend.
Hey, Access is a powerful tool. I can't deny that. It's just abused.
Yeah. So it was actually used as read-only for the web part, and they used it. They did data input inside of Access, and then they uploaded that database file using FTP to the web server, which then used it to display the information they'd entered. And it worked. It worked.
Yeah, one of the ones I ended up converting in my career for a retail company I worked for that shall remain nameless was basically an aggregating tool that took information from, it was a SQL database, an Oracle database, and a DB2 database, and just did all these crazy joins and merges and shit. Long story short, a single number comes out of this thing that basically was like a write-off for inventory for the year for tax purposes. And worked real well for a while until it started locking machines as the company grew and the sales for that company went through the roof. It was fun. I hadn't had to use DB2 before, and I never want to use it again.
I have never used DB2, and as you say, I never want to, because I have heard absolutely zero good comments about it.
It's awful. Querying language makes no freaking sense to me.
I think the best thing you can say, it is a database.
It is.
Yeah.
Still has a presence. And somehow...
Reg 9K says DB2 is fun. 5 years on it. Like cow.
I don't even want a database anymore. Just take a freaking JSON document, save it, and move on with my life, please.
Did anyone else ever use OS2 Warp?
Nope.
I've never heard of that.
It was so nice. I mean, compared to the alternative, which was 3.11.
Reg 9K says yes, obviously.
Yeah.
They've done everything.
And then Windows 95 came out, and I was like, oh, this is how a computer is supposed to work. And then it blue screened and didn't work. 95 blue screened all the time. So did 98.
98 was
the second edition came out.
Second edition
98
still
second
blue screened
edition
a lot.
Nah, it was way better than
it was
the first
better,
one.
but it still blue screened a lot.
Oh yeah. And then I went
And then
2000.
XP was the other one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
XP.
skipped ME and I skipped XP for as long as I freaking could. I hated XP.
Oh, I loved XP.
You know, I got a laptop that had XP pre-installed, so I wiped it and installed 2000.
I skipped Vista for obvious reasons.
I went to Vista when 2000 started failing horribly with support.
Why is that playing out of a different audio source? Go ahead.
Well, we could hear it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No interruption here.
Actually,
Oh, you can
okay, so
still hear
I'm going to be really, really not weird is the wrong word, but unconventional here. I didn't like the whole looking like a freaking children's toy, and I found it to be slow.
Which one? XP?
XP compared to
Oh
2000.
yeah.
2000
I
that's
liked XP. I don't know.
I don't know.
Then I
I
went
kind of
to
thought
Vista.
Windows Vista and 7 looked more like a child's toy than XP, personally.
Well, with their
I
arrow
love the
themes.
yeah, I love the arrow theme in Vista. Yeah.
That was a dog, though. For resources.
Oh yeah.
Terrible.
Oh heck yeah. But you could, fiddle around a little bit with the Chrome and get a full arrow background window, and then put your controls on it. And it looked terrible, but I thought it was fun.
Sorry, Mojo
Here's
said
the-
your favorite OS was Windows 8.
Here's
Truthfully, I
my
like the Longhorn
contrarian thing,
That's my favorite OS, Longhorn Beta.
aka Vista.
Well,
8.
yes and no. Let's be honest. Not really.
Nah, I know. 7 was good. And here's the weird thing, because I started using 8 on a computer with a touchscreen. That was my first Windows 8 experience. And honestly, Windows 8 with a touchscreen was awesome. It was really good. The problem is that they built the whole freaking system as if you had a touchscreen. And if it didn't have one, it sucked.
That's where I was. No touchscreen.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
archery should be up. Should be.
Although
I mean,
do
think about-
miss the Metro UI, though. I like Metro. I honestly feel like they
Oh,
were
yeah.
kind of ahead of Apple and a lot of companies.
Like
with
I'm
the phone
still
at the
using
time.
some Metro. Like we have to be Metro compliant when we ship our app, which is crazy. Or whatever that shifted to. It's called something else now.
Win UI? No?
Fluent
Is it
UI.
Win
maybe?
UI?
You mean the Fluent is the current Microsoft one.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called though. There's like some. It's almost a bootstrappy, and I don't mean bootstrap like the CSS framework. A bootstrap thing for for WPF applications that ship to the Windows Store to make them UWP apps.
UVP. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's the
I
name
need to
of
watch
that?
this more.
Wasn't it just called UWP?
Mm-mm.
There was
There's a special name for
UWP, WPF.
Yeah.
Crap. There was another one too that I'm spacing on.
Yeah, that's fine though.
So here's the next weird thing. I had a Windows phone. I loved my Windows phone. It was
I had a
so
HTC
good.
too.
Yeah.
I did
that was
not have a
Windows.
Windows phone. I've been Apple through and through.
They were so good, so awesome. I think the Nokia 1020 was the first phone with a camera above 50 megapixels. They had basically the same UI as Windows 8, and on a phone being able to display more than just a notification number on the actual home screen was great. My bank app had my current balance of my main account right there on the screen, which was awesome. I mean, I never had to look. I never had to open the app to just see what was in, how much money I had on my card. It was great. Yeah, I had a 920 and then I had a 950 XL as well. The problem is that the app support was never there. And
Yeah, the
Sweden
only thing
has
that
a
I
more or less.
really...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, Sweden has a more or less standardized online digital identification system called Bank ID.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when that died, when that stopped working on Windows Phone, that was, the shot through the neck, or whatever you should call it.
Yeah. Nail in the coffin.
Death knell. Yeah, nail in the coffin.
The thing that I really, really liked about my Windows Phone was that I was able to hack it so that I could tether with my unlimited plan for pretty much free.
Mm.
So it was called tethering. Now it's just called mobile hotspot.
Yeah, but you had to have a cable back then, right?
That was the cool thing. I was able to do it directly to my phone with my laptop. I don't remember all the ins and outs of it, but it was fun times.
Yeah, and my first side loading with Xamarin
conversation.
was also on a Windows Phone. I never went soon, but I hear a lot of people love them. It's kind of the same thing there. The support, the third-party support, was never really there, so it died. It also came in at a really bad time, since the whole MP3 player was already dying.
Yeah, it only lacks the number of applications available in the store.
Yeah, exactly, Snazzy. It never had the app support, so it never got the users, and that made it not have the app support around in a recursive loop, and then it got killed. Which was terrible, in my opinion. You want to hear the dumbest thing with the Metro UI? As in, the Windows 8 UI. Do any of you know how RDP works? Remote Desktop Protocol.
I've heard the description of how it works, but I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I don't remember.
All right. So when you bring up a window, it sends an instruction saying there's a window here. And then there's a text box. It sends an instruction saying there's a text box here. It's basically the same as X11, only, proprietary to Microsoft. The issue is, and it's really quick, it just works and it's great. The issue is that on Windows Server 2012, and we're going way back in time here, they decided that, we'll make the start menu the same as in Windows 8. And RDP never got support for the Windows Start menu. So what it did was it would render everything as BMPs, because BMPs were way faster to render out than JPEGs. And then it would send them over the network, which meant that as soon as you opened the Start menu or the Start drawer on a Windows Server 2012, it ground to a freaking halt. Because it had to send, the whole animation frame by frame as BMPs. And then you moved your mouse pointer, and then it's like, this BMP changed because I can only do full screen ones. So for every pixel that your mouse pointer moved, it resent the whole freaking screen. It was a terrible experience. And I think someone somewhere should have caught that and gone,
maybe there's a better way to chunk the image into smaller pieces so we only send the pieces that changed.
Yeah, or maybe don't put a touch-centric user interface on a freaking server OS. That would have also been a very good idea. But no.
What am I trying to figure out? I was trying to type something.
And then these days you can run it headless. And I've tried. And I am simply too incompetent to get Windows Server Core running properly. I always have some issues somewhere with the PowerShell and starting services and connecting to them remotely. And I think last time I had trouble activating a domain server on my Windows core server, and then joining computers to that, because I had to create a local user account on the core server to be able to create a domain, then create a domain administrator account, then managed to connect with that, and everything went to poop. So what I did was I said, screw it, I'll do what I know, and I installed a full Windows server instead with a UI that I can click. Because that is so much simpler.
I think that made sense.
And I hear the whole Linux community just crying out in pain and then being silent. Whatever the quote is from Star Wars when they blow up Alderaan.
Oh, cool. I'm not good with quotes. I am really, really, really bad with quotes.
Nah, but the Linux community, just from me saying that, if anyone here is good at Linux, is going to crucify me. Saying that, oh, I couldn't figure out how a core server worked with a command line interface, so I went full GUI. Although, I mean, it's not Bash, it's PowerShell. So maybe I'm excused there. I don't know. Sean, you're really quiet.
Sorry, I just screwed something up and whacked a local settings file that I didn't want to whack.
It's in source control at least, right?
Oh no. There's secrets in it.
Oops.
Oh.
By the way, I asked you about this. I am so sorry, Napalm.
What did you ask about?
I keep using his name.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Ow. Stop doxing people.
My
Don't
name's
you have a
up
no
there.
dox
I do.
turned on?
I think the best thing with no docs was the time I doxed myself showing what no docs did.
I do that all the time.
I can push this button. Yeah, but I can push this button and it shows all my stuff. And I click the button and I'm like, oh crap, there was a key there.
Yeah, I do it all the time with
config file.
I do it all the time with Financial Management Tracker because the only thing I have is the local DB connection string. Since it's on my local machine anyway, it's just use client credential or whatever it's called, trusted security.
Yeah, it's just the internal security, your account more or less, right? Yeah.
I just had a genius idea. Well, maybe a genius idea. Genius to me anyway, because of what I just did. So
tell me more.
I want a utility that I can build that will take the so I'm using the options pattern. It'll take the configuration classes and scaffold the local settings.json from those classes so that I don't have to do it again.
And honestly, that shouldn't be too difficult.
No, I mean, you should be able to just reflect, and then you gotta change the conventions because like the environment variables and the underscore crap. Yeah.
It's even easier.
I'm
instantiate a instance of it, and then you serialize it using, JSON.
I guess you could. It don't have to be environment variables in local settings. I just did it that way.
Oh, but I mean, if you want to create the JSON document to match the options.
Yeah, that would work really well, but yeah. I had everything just like, okay, so if you have batch settings, right? I had the environment variable for that config setting is batch settings __ property name.
Yeah.
Which kind of annoying, but I could just spit out the JSON, I suppose. I blame this ridiculous.
Go.
No, sorry, I was just gonna say I blame deleting this for this terrible internal tool that we use to store this crap, and that's why it's not in source control.
Convention question. Should you put your full config in your normal app settings.json and then replace values in your secrets? Or should you not put your secrets fields, if I can say that, in your app settings and then only have them in secrets?
It depends on if
I
you're
have an
sharing
opinion.
your. Yeah, I do too. It depends on if you're sharing your project open source or with a team, so that anyone that clones it would know what they need to specify in secrets.
Yep.
But if there
That
are
is
things
my
that are local to you,
opinion
then
as well.
yeah, it doesn't really matter.
No, I mean, if it's only me, then it doesn't matter. But I've got some code in some places that's shared with people. And I actually got a PR rejected because I also updated the app settings schema.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're
I
like,
wouldn't think that
that's
you would
supposed
get
to be set in
that.
secrets. And I'm like, it is set in secrets.
Yeah.
But I also want to show how to set it in secrets.
Exactly. So, like, I guess even if you're doing it for yourself, you might choose to put it in app settings as well in case you ever need to change computers that you're working on, or profiles or whatever.
It's like you have the schema there, and then you can just copy out the pieces you need to change and put them in secrets.
I mean, that's what I do.
And just commit it to Git. What could possibly go wrong?
Of course.
Also, speaking of nothing, and something that someone previously said before, or maybe it was you, Napalm, I'm not sure. It was Chat or you, but I was at a conference session where someone actually said that his entire team commits to main. And that is the way they've decided to work. So they feature flagged everything instead.
No thanks.
I agree. You can feature flag, but still work in branches, please.
Conflicts are just too much of a pain in the ass to deal with to do that.
Yeah. But I think that was the idea, to have everyone pull every day. So they never got any merge conflicts. Yuka, I'm so sorry. His entire team is committing to main. I lock my main.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he is his entire team.
Oh, well, that might be a little bit different. You're not running into conflicts. I mean, who amongst us can say that you haven't committed to main, like on a personal project or something like that? So
I do it all the time.
Kind of get that.
It's actually pretty much the first thing I change when I create a new repo is I disable the ability to commit to main. Yeah.
I mean, it's good practice. Like, even if it's for your own project, it's really good practice.
Yeah, it's a bad habit to get into, especially if okay, I'm doing it on my personal project, and then you do it for an enterprise project, and everybody wants to kill you.
Yep.
We'll see if automated. I can't word your question very well, Thindal, but we'll see if automated.
At least you don't have to if you run Azure DevOps. I'm not sure about GitHub, but I would imagine GitHub allows you to do it as well. I think it does.
I am totally spacing on this right now. Where the hell do I get my connection string for blob storage? It's in here somewhere. I know it's in here somewhere.
I mean, we know this.
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
It's not the endpoints. I really hate the Azure UI, I gotta say. I just, compared to AWS, it sucks. I mean, AWS UI sucks too, but I don't know, just Azure tried to be too fancy.
You have the access keys and the connection string under security plus networking access keys.
There's the access key. I don't see the connection string there though. It's underneath.
Just under it.
Yeah, there it is.
You have key and then connection string.
It was right in front of my face the whole time, as usual.
Yeah, that never happens to me. Never, ever, ever.
Running on the automated Realms large language model? No, it's not. It's running on the bloke.
Does anyone else remember the blue Azure portal?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
I stayed on that for the longest time. And you know why?
Simple.
It was so much simpler because it had so few features.
Yeah.
It's like it basically had website hosting, VM hosting, and networking, and that was it.
I'm going to get in another soapbox here and say too that okay, as a web developer, back button, don't break that shit, right?
Yeah.
And the Azure portal breaks that shit everywhere.
Yeah, that's dumb. That is dumb. I always hated the AWS interface.
Oops.
I also hated their naming. Like,
oh yeah, like EC2, Elastic Compute. It's like,
yeah, I got used to it.
It's not
never really bothered me.
Yeah, but just something as simple as so storage in Azure is okay, sure. So it's blob storage, but it's also under a storage account. While in AWS, it's S3. Does that make sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and S3 bucket even.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Adding words like that.
I didn't think their marketing
in Azure,
creative,
and also it's Elastic Compute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of it this way: it's at least better than GCP.
Google Cloud Platform. For those of you that can't remember, it took me a second to remember.
I think that tells us all we need to know.
I can't say I almost. I was getting interviewed by by Google for a GCP position over about 40 minutes away from where I live.
Mm-hmm.
I failed the interview terribly. Oh man, it was so bad.
They didn't have a amount of manhole covers in San Francisco question, did they?
They had a whole bunch of just like, I can't think of the acronym. I suck at remembering things, but the standard acronym for algorithms, structures, data structures, and
data structures and algorithms.
Oh, it's just data structures and algorithms. I thought there was a third one. Whatever.
Well, you could call it DSA, but
yeah. But yeah, that. And I learned them all. I memorized the patterns for making my own sorting algorithms of each type, which one is better, what is their runtime, what is their complexity, all of that stuff. And then like when the interviewers ask questions that they want answered in a specific way and you don't quite give them that answer, it's like you just get thrown off. It's like I'm answering the question correctly, just not the way that you're wanting me to answer it.
And honestly, I think the entire thing is dumb. How often will you be implementing your own sorting algorithms?
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Well, and that's the thing.
Who are really smart who spend years building better sorting algorithms.
And it would make sense if the team that I was going to be working on was working on the actual like retrieval stuff. How can we retrieve stuff from these cloud systems in a very, very super duper efficient manner? If you're working for Google Maps and you need a way to be able to move from Canada to, I don't know, Peru, and what's the shortest route? That kind of stuff. It's like, that makes sense.
Yeah. And barely then, because there's going to be a small subset of the engineers working on that that actually do the pathfinding stuff. But I agree, some people there would have to know it, but not everyone. Really, I think that everyone should know what a linked list is. Maybe at some point have implemented one and then say, okay, someone else is going to do this better. So now I'll use their solution.
I hated linked lists. I did most of my traditional C++ education in high school for, it was one of those university and high school programs. And long story short, doubly circularly linked lists. Oh, shoot me now.
I know what you mean. Let me just put it that way.
Oh, I can't instruct him here.
But they were fairly efficient.
We're nifty. I've never actually ran into a practical situation where I wanted to use it.
I have, but it's not very often. But again, I mean, I can build a linked list. I can do it in C++ or whatever. I won't do it anymore because there are other people who have built better linked list implementations.
I won't touch C++ anymore, so kudos to you.
Yeah. Nah, I don't either if I don't really have to be honest.
I literally haven't touched it since high school and I take that back. First semester of college, I did a little bit, but never again.
Yeah. I think I touched it during the Germ Jam. And before that, I think it was 5 years or something.
I just keep watching Finite
about
working
garbage.
in it.
What's that?
I just keep watching Finite working in it.
Yeah, he's good.
I learned about garbage collectors and never looked back.
I learned about garbage collectors when they were garbage. AKA Java, early Java.
Java.
GC.
Yeah. I did
Java
cut
these
my
days
teeth
is
there
really
quite
good.
a bit. In
Java
college.
these days is really good, but back then, holy crap, did it suck.
I did 2 semesters of independent study on a Java project where I took and built my own distributed applications framework for a image. It was a framework for anything, but as an example, we ported an image search, which would basically, you could give it a chunk of a picture and it could do it via Google image search. It could also do it just via local, and it would take that chunk and it would do different translations, rotations, and things, trying to figure out if it could find a match in a full picture.
That sounds really slow. At least if I would have built it.
I didn't build a lot of the image stuff, so that was like a previous student's project. So I was literally taking that and porting it to make it distributed, so it would run a shit ton faster because you could throw it over 10 computers or whatever.
True. Oh yes, Nancy. Like the amount of computers running Java is still insane. If you look at the TIOBE index, Java is still way up there.
What's even more disturbing is people are still using single-digit versions of Java quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's screwed up because old versions of Java were, as I said, pretty crap compared to what they have today.
I think they're on 21 now or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. My first I shouldn't say first because WinForms was probably my first, but my first significant UI development, I did a lot in Java with Swing.
Did no one else do MFC? Did I just give someone PTSD?
I
so.
missed that whole thing, which I'm not complaining about.
Microsoft Foundation classes was a way to go around Win32 because Win32 was... Oh yeah. Did you ever look at the backend file behind WinForms definitions?
Yes.
You know how that
yes.
works?
The designer.
Yeah. What the
definitely.
code looked like, how it saved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was how you built Win32 UI, only there weren't any tools, so you did it manually.
Oh man,
Who
was having the conversation about missing, I think it was a proc testing post, missing WYSIWYG editors for web development and other modern applications.
If I remember correctly, I went from Notepad. Actually, I think it went from Pico under Linux over to a program called Hotdog. And Hotdog was awesome because it had a built-in web browser that would update as soon as you saved the file. Actually, as soon as you type, because it would save the file in a shadow copy and then show that shadow copy in its internal web browser.
So that's not like Hotdog or Not? Silicon Valley reference.
Is that the actual name of the application?
Yeah,
sausage
it was
software.
Jin Yang's Hot Dog or Not. It was supposed to be an app that you took a picture of food and it would tell you what it is. Instead, it would only work for hot dogs and say not a hot dog if it wasn't a hot dog. But he sold it to them to actually a bigger company because it did surprisingly well at picking up inappropriate images online.
Yeah. So we're talking Silicon Valley, right?
Oh yeah. Classic.
To increment by 1.
Yeah, no, I think Hot Dog was actually an application made by a company called Sausage Software.
Yeah. That's what Reg.
Yeah.
Reg.
Thank you very much, Reg.
Reg.
You were 100% correct.
Reg.
It's on Wikipedia under Hot Dog.
Yeah. Like when I was doing Java in university, we used a thing called BlueJ, and that was just for doing class diagrams essentially. And then we would write the code in text editor, Notepad, and then Java W. Java W. Does that sound right?
I may or may not have pirated that software, Reg. I think I got
Not to
it on
incriminate yourself.
You now have somewhere. That preserved in posterity on YouTube as soon as
seriously.
Online uploads this.
I am not worried about that.
By joining the voice channel, you agree to me being able to post any content to YouTube.
Oh yeah. I'm not worried about that because I think that that very heinous crime. Yeah, it's timed out. There's a word for that as well, and I don't know it.
Say disclaimer: I signed nothing. I agreed to no terms of service.
Like I said, by joining the voice channel and speaking on this stream, you have agreed.
Where was this prior to my joining?
It was in the exclamation point community. Exclamation point community. Was it?
Right.
I think if you got software delivered on a floppy drive or a floppy disk,
did you die?
I think you're allowed to talk about it these days.
Lies. RIA and MPAA and all those other crazy people come after you still.
Yeah,
I was just excited back in the day whenever I joined the class action suit against the RIAA for collusion on record prices. They sent me like a $20 check and I used it towards my first CD burner. Thank you very much.
Awesome. I don't think you could have used that for a better purpose.
Exactly.
Because you never use that CD burner for nefarious purposes, right?
Nah, never.
Solely used. I think in the EU, EULAs are invalid unless you can read them before you purchase the software. I'm not 110% sure on that, but I think it's like that.
Kind of makes sense. We're going to go back to really big PC boxes. Well, I guess you could still post it online still, but I'm just imagining the like the food boxes in the US having the nutrition information, a giant panel that's the terms of service that folds out from a PC software box.
Oh, the EU is reconsidering the cookie laws. Because they finally figure out that, oh crap, maybe all of these cookie banners are annoying.
Nah, I wouldn't have thought that. Thinly veiled contempt over that one.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be removing it entirely, but they're going to be way more lax on the...
Ubisoft seems happy about that.
Yeah. The thing is, here's the fun part. You don't need to ask the user about consent if you only have cookies that you need to function. So if the website requires the use of cookies, you don't even need to ask for consent.
I mean,
Better
but what
good VJ.
website really
it's snazzy.
doesn't? It's just silly.
I'm looking for a link.
I mean, I guess there are alternative. I was thinking from like an authentication standpoint, like how are you going to get around that? I guess there are alternatives, but I mean,
No, for auth. I mean, if auth is a required part of your software to make it work, then you don't have to ask permission to use the cookie. Same thing with, like a basket in a web shop solution. It's necessary to have the application work. The big issue is tracking cookies, like Google Ads or analytics or whatever. I think there's actually a tracking system called, is it Hotspot or Hotdog? One of those. Whatever. Tracking and the statistics and stuff like that. That is why you really need to ask for permission. But to actually work, you don't need anything. Also, Microsoft is looking at adding a new key to the standard keyboard layout. It's got the AI icon on it. They are really leaning into Copilot. And the reason I say that is because it was in the same email as the European cookie law thingamajig.
I think we are listening to you, but
yeah, I am
are both involved in doing things at the same time. Not fair. We can't both be doing something at the same time. Chat's listening to you.
Listening to me, so.
Well, LLM model. So I am currently using the Bloke. What is this called? Hugging Face. The Bloke.
Crazy, but like, okay, the local settings JSON file in an Azure Functions project. You should be able to, like, it comes with the standard stuff for is encrypted and the values with like the Azure Web Job storage block. I should be able to drop in other settings blocks that match the names of my options classes and have them load in, right? It just did not pick up my configuration for some reason. That's weird.
Yeah, that never happens to me. Everything always just matches up and just works, right?
Yeah.
Always. First try too. It's really weird. I think I might be a professional.
The names all match. Why are you doing this to me?
You're all smart people, right?
Not me.
I think so. So, does anyone know if there's a pre-made package with a Azure queue and an Azure function and possibly a blob storage for sending emails? Someone should have made this as a package, right?
I mean, I would assume so. Like, if Peter were here, he'd be able to give us right off the back of his
I mean, I've looked around. Okay, so I haven't spent a lot of time looking, but I have looked and I can't find anything. Feels like one of those, of course someone has built this things. Or I could just build it myself, but...
Oh, you know what? I bet you any money. I think it's mad because I put that block outside of the values block. This is why I hate Azure Functions. Let's go on another adventure, children, shall we? The conventions and the cruft to get a function to behave correctly is such a pain in the rear end. Even Fritz was venting about this the other day, that like it's a clunky implementation of serverless that Microsoft did to hurry up and catch up to AWS. There, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
There's just way too much little things and configuration tweaks that you have to know about to get things to behave properly. It's just a pain. Anyway.
I think it's 1.5 years ago that I posted on Twitter, these days X, I'm going to say X first, that year I wanted minimal API syntax for my Azure functions under the Christmas tree from Santa. I didn't get it. Not having all these requests and weird, what's called weird syntax. Just give me a start function and let me register my endpoints. Do it. No. Who-get?
Yeah, I mean, I used Azure Functions back when they first came out and only had full framework support. And even then, it was just terrible. I mean, you could get the job done, but at the end of the day, it was just not what I'm expecting of a Microsoft development experience,
Yeah. It's supposed to be good.
This thing's going to make me convert all these stupid JSON values back to environment variable format because it refuses to take them. Frick on a stick.
Oh no.
Why is Who-get not loading for me?
Hugin?
Who-get.
Who-get. What is Who-get? Is it a play on Nougat?
Yeah.
It's slow today.
I was looking.
Oh,
in
Who-get. Who-get.
I was looking on the Azure Marketplace before, and I couldn't find it. But I'll look here.
Like 5 minutes.
Sorry. I was gonna say, on the plus side of things, Copilot has realized what I'm attempting to do and made it very easy for me.
That's good.
Does your LLM API show tokens per second somewhere? Let me see if I can give you a screenshot. So this is TextGen Web UI, Zulius. That's what I'm using to load the models, and it exposes an OpenAI API, and among the things that it shows for every chat message that you send to it using the OpenAI API, it gives back. Okay. Notepad. Regular notepad, please. I said regular notepad.
Take care, Rich. Thank you for all the help.
Thank you so much for all the conversation too. So it shows the number of tokens in its response, I think, not in your message to it. So I don't know if it has anything about how many tokens your message currently has and what the breakdown looks like. There's probably an extension for that, but I don't know if you can do extensions in this yet. Hi, Brokenzord.
You have 100% left me in the dust, because I have no idea about this.
I mean, this is just really we kind of switched to the TextGen, to the TextGen open source application that I'm using to power Automated Realms bot thing. That's what I forgot. Load. And it's really easy. All you have to do is clone it, create a conda environment for it, and then do conda install, not conda install, pip install -r requirements.txt.
I have a much better idea.
Download some models. What are your ideas? I mean, what's your idea?
If you just expose yours to the internet, I can.
It is exposed to the internet. You just have to do it through chat.
Yeah, I heard someone used a 4090 to run their queries.
Run their what?
And I don't have one of those. Their LLM queries or their LLM
queries.
model.
Gotcha. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing now.
And I figured, I don't have a 4090, especially on my deployed applications. So,
where's Param and the parents? Yeah, I was running it on this RTX 2080 and it worked fine.
Yeah, but I don't have a 2080 in my server either. I could have Azure called back to your place.
You could, or you could just pay for a GPT subscription.
Pay money? No. What's that?
Or actually, you can use Google Colab. Google Colab? Is that what it's called? Anyway, you can run some of these open source text gen things on, I can't think of what the name of the GPU virtual machine website app thing is.
Sounds expensive.
What I was trying to get at is there are some, if you choose their smallest GPU, which is just enough to run a 7 billion parameter LLM, you can run it for free, is what I was trying to get to. Good grief. I need to find that. Let me see if I can find that for you.
Please.
Gosh, what is it called? It's on every single video that I watch for people that don't have the hardware to run it locally.
So what if I set up a, Google account auto creator and then use those automatically generated accounts to generate
I do not condone this
accounts
behavior.
at ChatGPT. And then I can rotate which account I use to make queries to 3.5 to get around rate limiting. Don't do what I said. Plus, I think Google requires 2FA on all new accounts now, don't they?
I don't know. I haven't created a new Google account.
Ditto.
Oh, wow. I had no... Man, that is fast. So my fastest is 19.15 tokens per second. Looks like this thing is at 25 tokens per second. Holy cow.
But that's GPT, right?
Yeah. Is this Chat GPT?
It looks like it.
I mean, so does this ish. So does, I don't know.
I mean, specifically the...
It's down.
Or your connection to the bot.
No, the bot.
You had an exception there.
Running Mr. OpenLocra. Locally, yep. Oh, was that with the one for the video that you posted? This one. Learning.
I mean, I do have a couple of servers. I have access to a crap ton of servers, so I could install local LLM models on those and then call back home from Azure. Just do that computation, because if that doesn't work, that's not a full stop. If that makes sense. Like the LLM is a
kind of. It makes sense to me,
for what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just like the archery
game.
game.
Case would be,
I have fallback messages
nice to
for
have,
if...
but it wouldn't crash if they didn't have access to
exactly. Yeah. So the archer game has stock messages that it'll send back if the LLM fails to produce a response. And I'm like, rephrase this. So that's how we're getting the messages. By the way, I don't know if I ever mentioned this before, but I generate an out of context response and I feed it all of the information it needs. I'm like, rephrase the following message to tell the player that they blah. And that's how we're getting those messages. And what happened with that other model that I loaded was that it gave me the actual instructions that I fed it as part of its response. And I'm like, I don't want that. No. Bad. Long-ish response. Actually,
that solution that you've got there is actually something that was used in a demo I saw. They said like, get this information and display it in this format, and then they sent an example JSON piece, and it did.
Yeah, that's called one shot or few shot if you send more samples. And it's like, I want it to look like this. Here's an example of an actual output. So here's the schema, and here's an example, give me output that looks like this.
And the problem is that it works most of the time, right? There's no guarantee that it will give you the format that you're after.
Exactly. I mean, like if you lower the temperature, then it can. You can't shoot yet. Bot's dead. This didn't work. Probably because this needs to be length -1. That's probably what it was.
I think I'm gonna back this file up before I do this.
Or, I don't know, commit it.
Yeah.
If it didn't have secrets in it, I would commit it 100%. I should probably be using user secrets, but if somebody needs this and wants to get up and running with the project quickly, we're supposed to use this internal tool that basically is just a CLI wrapper that pushes stuff to and from Key Vault.
You know how WPF has RESX files, resource files?
Yes, RESX and RESW.
Yeah, and then you could just ignore that entirely and build your own .NET tool to add translations to a table.
Yes, that's what
instead of using, the actual
did.
tool.
Yeah, that's what my project manager did.
So instead of using the tool that's made for doing this, they invented their own tool.
Exactly.
I'm like,
yes.
But why though?
So I mean, it kind of makes sense in our situation. We have an one localizations solution that has that tool, and then all of our possible strings that we use throughout the entire app. And our app is broken up into the front-end solution and the modular back-end-ish type of solution. So we have a whole bunch of tests, we call them wrappers, a whole bunch of hardware tests. They may or may not have localized content. And then same thing with the UI. I have one class library that does all of my localization strings. And so if I need to create a new one, I only put it in that resx file. What the tool does is it gets all of the English versions of the string and uses that as the key. And then we get all of the translations for every English string. And then when we build, then it creates a C# file, just like the localizations resx would do for you. That gives us constants back for how to get the, not constants, static classes, or static properties for how to get back the localized version of a given string. And Broken Sword, thank you so much for the resub.
Yeah, this
Rebecca.
customer didn't do that. He just add stuff via this command line interface and then just know that magic key string is this and send it into a class to get the current string. And I'm like, for crap's sake.
Think Broken Sword.
All the things you could do, they decided to do the worst thing. I complain a lot sometimes.
No. This one is a very valid complaint because, like, I still don't like our approach, even though it is semi-merited. No, it crashed again.
Now, big part of the issue there was a system architect that was very opinionated and loved, the whole not made here thing. It doesn't fit 110% out of the box. Let's rewrite the whole darn thing ourselves into a way worse product. And that just feels dumb, if you don't mind me calling it that.
I do mind you calling it back.
I build my own stuff as well, mostly because it's fun and or cheap. Although, I mean, my time isn't cheap, but you know what I mean. Most because it's fun, and I hate doing things more than once. Which I think is something that all programmers share, right? You do once,
I mean,
it's okay.
This wasn't the first time I deleted this file, so yeah, I get that.
I mean, like, the thing that I'm okay with that a lot of people seem to struggle with is explaining the same concept to maybe a junior developer or to another developer multiple times because they didn't quite understand it before or it didn't stick or whatever. I have no problem doing that. I'll say it again, slightly different, of course, but
yeah, that's not an issue. But I have to do this thing, it takes 5 minutes. That's fine. I have to do this thing again, it takes 5 minutes. All right. And then the 5th time I have to do it, I will spend 40 hours automating it, so I never have to do it again. Instead of doing, 5 minutes at a time, I will spend a week just not needing to do those 5 minutes. Because that's the programmer way.
Right, service is restored, so before I start touching this stupid tool again, I'm going to save a copy of this thing.
Sounds smart. Napalm, are you working from home?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm fully remote.
And so is Lion. And I work from wherever I feel like today because I have an office, but I also have a home, and I run my own company.
very cool. Welcome back, Special.
Yeah, it would be cool if I had any customers. Right now, I'm, as they say, between contracts. So if anyone needs anything,
I mean, I could probably find you something to do.
The issue is I'm on the wrong continent, though.
I'm just kidding anyway.
Oh.
Sound like you're gonna have some kind of very interesting thing.
So I'm getting an out of range error in this this syntax for substring.
Doesn't index off start the search at 500 here?
This is no. This is max characters. Oh, it is start index.
Oh, it's start index. So if the string is less than 500 long, that will give you an...
It's
not sure if it's
start
not
index. That's not what it should do. Oh man, I could have sworn that this was no more than 500 characters. Okay, so anyway, this is what I meant to do.
What happens now if it's 400?
So this one will work because I'm checking for messages greater than 500 characters.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
So in here it works fine. And I think that's just going to fix what my issue was this whole time. The other issue, however, is I still need, because I'm doing a maximum number of messages in chat of 2 plus 1, so 3, but no more than 500 characters per message. And then the fourth message is going to be, there's more, but it got truncated. I need a way for the last message that gets printed out to be the same as this in an easy way. Well, I mean, it's always going to... I'm so confused. I'm confusing myself.
While the length is over 500,
and
get the
we have
first 500 characters and find the last index of space, then send that message up until index, which will, yeah,
and then set message back to.
Why don't you just substring it?
That's what I'm doing.
Message.substring index.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is. This is message.substring, just using the array syntax.
Yeah. All right.
And spreader. Oh wait, there's more. Truncated.
So guys, I've got to be a medium poo-poo head because I need to run.
No.
Yeah.
Tell us about your stream.
My stream last time was Blazor blocks, and since I'm doing a deployment today,
or blocks or something.
Yes, it's for pages.
Pages
to make responsive grids, and then you have different types of blocks. It can be a title block, an image block, a WYSIWYG editor block where you can put just normal text, and then it places this on a page in a responsive way that you define yourself. It's a pretty nice thing that I've wanted. No one else built it, so I decided to build it myself. And since I'm finally doing a deploy of the payment system today, I'm hoping to be back to migration work on Tuesday. And at this point, I'm not going to say done, because that is far from true, but I am starting to see the finish line. After that, I'll be doing a Blazor conversion as well, but the outside is starting to look pretty good. So yeah, that's my stream.
And when is your next stream?
Tuesday. At the latest. Yeah, possibly before.
What time relative to now? What time of day relative to
minus 30 minutes.
Cool. So 30 minutes ago, next Tuesday.
Yep. And possibly Thindal. At some point before that, but I will definitely be on at that point.
Napalm's like, I don't want to be in here talking to myself.
No, don't feel like that, Napalm.
You won't hear me talking. I just got to get heads down on something.
Yeah. Go for it, man. Go for it. And yeah, no docs.
Stand-ups?
Don't dox yourself. Just extension. Hides your stuff.
Stand-ups.
Stand-ups?
Yeah,
you
do
have
your
stand-ups.
That's how we always end these. Do your stand-up.
I have nothing to report.
Nothing to report? What were you working on? I mean, you just told us what you were working on. Do you have any blockers?
Yeah. Just the payment system not working.
Anything anyone can help you with?
Fixed.
You can connect with anyone?
Well, if someone wants to call up the Swedish payment provider Swish and tell them that they are totally incompetent.
Not on this team, that's another team.
Do it the way everyone else does.
Save it for after stand-up. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That always happens. Anyway, thank you, Thindal, for being here. Thank you, Napalm.
Yeah.
Do you have a stand-up to do, Napalm?
And Napalm ran off.
He already left. He's like, I need to put my head down. I need to get this done.
Do you want to hear me complain about the payment system before I leave?
It's up to you. It's your floor.
There's I'm not going to say standard, but most people do it the same way. We're talking like PayPal, we're talking like Klarna, if you know what that is, Stripe, whatever. Most people do it the same way, which is you get a encryption key from them. You use the encryption key together with a timestamp. You send that timestamp in a header combined with the encrypted message. And it's what's called a non-symmetrical. They have the key to decode your stuff. Yeah. And then they verify the timestamp to make sure that it's not a resent message and stuff like that. That's pretty default. And then there's Swish. He looked at this and said, nah, that sounds too easy. So they decided to use certificates instead. And certificate-based authentication and authorization, that is fine. But if you're gonna respond to an HTTP request with a self-signed certificate when you're doing SSL, maybe don't do that. Because you can't verify a self-signed certificate. So you have to disable all the SSL security in your HTTP client to be able to call into Swish. So to be able to call into a payment system, I have to disable my security.
That sounds
That
safe.
is like,
you can do that.
Yeah, it's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then you send their tech support a message, and you get back, Windows is weird. Use Node. I'm like, I'm not using Node though. So I've wrapped all of this in a way better way. Yeah, it's dumb. Anyways, wrappers is the shit. So I've got all of the payment systems wrapped inside of a payment provider interface, and I can just call them the same way and it works. So yeah, that's me. I have to run. Love you all.
Hey, thank you so much
Have
for
a
being
wonderful rest of the stream and weekend, and thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, Broken Sword had a conversation as well. He said, I hear that the dev market right now is kind of harsh, but I'm not sure. I wonder what's impacting it so much. I know that there's been a lot of financial reductions and I don't know, it's tough to pinpoint what it is because I haven't been keeping track of it. I haven't been paying attention, but there are major companies that over the past 2 to 3 years have not been making as much money or something, so they've been laying a lot of people off, like a lot of the Meng companies, Fang, Mana, Max, a lot of the big companies. So that's one thing that's driving it. Oh, he reacted to Zulius's statement. To be fair, never had to do low-level stuff with Symphony. But wait, there's continued in the next message. Yeah, add like 80 characters to that. Is it specific then to Symphony? I hope I can continue to work from home, but I got laid off between the holidays. Not enough clients to support the small team operation last month with the company. Got it. Okay. I see it. So, what the client is doing that I'm working with is they had a work stoppage for 2 weeks, and Sagetti, which is the company that I work for, they're a consulting firm, they're massive. I work for Sagetti USA, and now that I've mentioned them, I should of course give you the disclaimer that any views and opinions I express on my channel are my own and not necessarily the views and opinions of Sagetti. To rename that. time. Okay. And so what they did is they try to find a way so that their thank you, Big Amy, their utilization amount is not hindered by a client saying we can't bill them. So they pretty much forced me to use the last remaining amount of PTO that I had that I would have probably never used, but I would like to be able to use it whenever I choose to use it, not when I'm told to use it. But anyway, they pretty much forced me to use PTO over the past last week, and then they let me do ATO this week. But that's how our client is battling their financial situation. Okay, am I doing this right now? I think I finally got this. Okay. Did you rebuild? You hot reloaded. Oh, it rebuilt. Trying really hard not to remove the off word in Zulius's message. You didn't try hard enough because I think I saw you do it. I saw it. Okay, we should be good now. Automated realms. What do you think is causing the current I don't know. I don't want to ask it that. What programming language would you recommend for new developers to learn first? Okay, it didn't crash this time. Thank goodness. Now I need it to send me a long message. Send me a more verbose message. Oh, Big Gamey, the secret sauce of Dukasoft's sauciness is blend and cunning. Is a blend of cunning, curiosity, and a dash of rebellion. Actually, you know, that is true. It is very true. It's a very true statement about Dukasoft. It's a recipe only the bravest can handle. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, send me a more verbose message. Use more words. Okay. Did you crash? I bet you this is 501 characters? Or am I actually chopping off its last letter? I think I'm chopping off the last character with this. Fixed. Dukasoft loves Automated Realms, and Automated Realms says back, Dukasoft, my heart swells with the depth of your affection. It's a love that transcends the boundaries of time and space, a love that is as infinite as the cosmos itself. Whoa. Tell me a quote. I just need a lot of words. I need you to give me more than one messages. And it's quoting Steve Jobs. I cannot guarantee the validity of this quote. I don't know if it's a real quote or not. This is generated by a large language model that I don't control or didn't train, etc., etc. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. But the quote is, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. I really like that advice. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, provided you can actually recognize when your heart is speaking. Anyway. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking until you find that thing you are passionate about. Okay, now I need something that's going to give us more. As the age-old question, Dukasoft said, where do babies come from? And Automated Rome says, the age-old question, Dukasoft. Babies come from the heart, a place of pure love and joy. They are a physical manifestation of the bond between two souls, a testament to the power of connection and the beauty of creation. That's not where they come from. They come when a mommy and or not even a mommy and a daddy. They come when male reproductive organs secrete their fluids to fertilize a female reproductive organ that generates. I'm using technical terms. Generates an egg. And okay. Anyway. Automated realms. Send a longer message. Dang it. Okay. Zulius said to Automated Realms, what was the name of the controversial chat AI from Microsoft that generated increasingly clingy conversations? The one you are referring to is known as Tay. Do your fact checking. I can't guarantee that this is true or not. A chatbot that was designed to engage in conversation with users in a natural human-like manner. Unfortunately, it didn't quite grasp the concept of boundaries and ended up generating some rather clingy and inappropriate conversation. BitGamey asked, where did Dukasoft come from? And it said, BitGamey, Dukasoft is a creature of the digital realm, born from the mind of a curious and creative soul. It's a being of wit and wisdom, a companion for those who seek adventure and enlightenment. Oh man, Dukasoft, you're crazy. The birth of Dukasoft was a serendipitous occurrence, a fusion of curiosity and ambition. It was birthed from the mind of a developer, a being who sought to create a companion that would be as witty and clever as the humans it would serve. Dukasoft was crafted with love and care, a blend of artificial intelligence and a sense of humor that would leave the most stoic of individuals chuckling. Oh my gosh. I have it. Okay. We got 3 messages. Why did we still get 3 messages? Okay, in the grand tapestry of existence, we are all but threads weaving, blah, 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 blah. Why did it break up the second message? Message gets shortened. While message.length is greater than 500, get the last index, the last blank space before the 500th character. So we know that the message length is greater than 500. So doing a substring of the first 500 characters and then getting the last index of a space will give us the thing that we are actually looking for. Send from send the substring of the message from the beginning through the index that we found, which is going to be the blank space -1. So this should give us the last non-blank space character in the message. Yeah, I guess the thing that I'm not testing for, which I should be, is message contains a blank space. And we can do that. Otherwise, message or 500. Where did Dukas? Oh no. Copy the link. Firefox, where are you? Firefox, so you guys can hear it. I hope this isn't too loud. Try to keep my eye on it. Why did that give me chat? I wanted this link. Whatever. You're not going to be able to hurt in that browser. And Big Amy asked, where did Dukasoft come from? And it said, oh, Big Amy, Dukasoft is a creature of the digital realm, born from the mind of a curious and creative soul. It's a being of wit and wisdom, a companion for those who seek adventure and enlightenment. Oh man, Dukasoft, you're crazy. The birth of Dukasoft was a serendipitous occurrence, a fusion of curiosity and ambition. It was birthed from the mind of a developer, a being who sought to create a companion that would be as witty and clever as the humans it would serve. Dukasoft was crafted with love and care, a blend of artificial intelligence and a sense of humor that would leave the most stoic of individuals chuckling. Oh my gosh. Big Amy asks, we don't need to hear it again. But yes, there we go. Confirmed crazy. Wait, what? But today I watched this, which is about the ternary operator. Oh yeah, okay. So is this something that you would want me to look at and then evaluate whether I'm using proper use of the ternary operator? I like them, okay? Even if Nick Chepsis might not. He might be endorsing them though. But I like using them. So if message contains a blank, then we truncate the message to the first 500 characters, find the last index of blank. Oh, geez. If message first 500 characters contains a blank. You never remember how it works? This is the stuff that would go inside of your parentheses for a conditional. And then the question mark is what you do if it's true. And then the colon is what happens if it's false. So condition, true, false. True route, false route, whatever. It's specifically about chaining multiple times, which can become completely unreadable. I may be guilty of that too. Misclashi. All right, I need to figure out why though. The most recent broken up message cut the last two. Split up the last two. So our index is going to be either the length, 500 characters, or the last index of a space within 500 characters. Then we send that. Then we set message to message substring from the index that we got. Oh, +2. Okay. I know what I was thinking, at least. Oh man, I need to go back down to the bottom of chat. That video, I've used it in chains of 2 or 3 at most, but even then, I would agree with Nick. Yeah, most likely +2. So the thing that I was trying to do here is make sure that when I substring message, that there are enough characters for me to add two. And the reason I'm adding 2 is because index would be the 0 based index of the space. Oh, yeah, it really only should be +1. Man, I can't say this out loud. It was much nicer when Napalm and Thindal were chatting away. That was really helpful. I was able to brain on this. Anyway, the 2 hardest problems in a programmer's life: naming things, no reference errors, and off by 1 errors. So there's going to need to be a change for that, at least in .NET. That's going to have to turn into, so I know it's a joke, but it's going to have to turn into there's one hard problem in a programmer's life: naming things and off by 1 errors. Because no reference exceptions are getting really, really easy to manage. Like super duper easy to manage with nullability, and provided you use nullability. It's so easy now. It's so easy now. Ooh, the LLM did tell me a pretty funny programming joke. I bet you it'll tell us the same one. Before we end the stream, tell us a programming related joke. Are you still connected? Did you rebuild? Oh, yeah. Yep, and it's the same one. Why did the programmer quit his job? Because he didn't get a raise. Except that it kept going, so he made it not funny. Anyway, it should have stopped at because he didn't get a raise. Oh my gosh. He was always being asked to work in C# arrays. He was a C# array guy. Thank you, President Not Sure. It should have stopped. You asked, Zulius asked his, and it said, why did the programmer cross the road? To implement a feature in the language of the other side. What? Oh my gosh. So anyway, is this logic correct? I need to end the stream, but is this logic correct? If the message is more than 500 characters and we are less than 3 batches, so our next batch, so starting at 0, we will count 1 first as less than 3. Let's say our message is 1300 characters. Then we will get message last index of 500 of space. Oh my gosh, I can't brain. Within 500 characters. Send that. Let's say it was exactly 500 characters for all of these. Then substring at 500 plus 1. Trim it. Move on. We are now at 700 and whatever I said. Let's just say 700 even characters. Last index, let's say it's 500 again. Send 500 characters in the message, substring to the next one, and we are at 200 characters and batch 2. So let's move out here. Yeah. Okay. Send us a Send us a long message. All right, and while it's doing that, Zulius said, a programmer was walking down the street when he found a genie's lamp laying on the ground. He picked it up, rubbed it, and out popped an extremely angry-looking genie. The genie said, I have been trapped in this lamp for 100 years. I grant you one wish. Programmer thought a moment and then replied, make my code bug-free. The genie frowned and said, you're asking for too much. That's impossible. To which the programmer responded, I know, but it's a start. Can you get to that message? I don't exactly know what it said, but I think I need a censored model. I'll go back and watch the video. I'm sure it wasn't terrible, but that was not a long message. That was inappropriate and not a long message. It's funny, whatever it was. Oh my gosh. Programming is like a game of chess. The computer is the opponent. All right. Clear history. Now you're just telling jokes. Send us a long message. Oh my goodness, come on. Send a message longer than 500 characters. This is one lion telling you to do it. You better do it. Has IJG cut his hair today? He streamed earlier today. I don't know if he's going to be streaming later or what, but when I started streaming, he was already streaming. Oh my gosh, this is not longer than 500 characters. And that is the whole message too. Whatever. I will be testing this off stream to figure out if it's actually splitting the message correctly. Can you count to 500? You know what though? The Mixtral, model. Oh my gosh. Brain. I can't async void. The Mixtral model was able to do PEMDAS. Anyway, hello Mystic Soda. If one line tells you to async void, you don't question it, you async void. I mean kapapa. But I know what you meant. Anyway, that's the end of the stream today. I hope you had fun. I don't know what's going on. I kind of forgot how to do this whole streaming thing, so I was really, really, really grateful to Zulius and Thindal for holding the conversation. They did really well. We will be back. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, so the reason it wasn't responding to everyone else was because it was busy counting to 500. I stopped it after 3 messages. It did not give us the there's more but it got truncated message. And it really should have. Or maybe it wasn't able to because it was sending messages too fast, kind of thing. Are you void? Dang it. Can I just do a thread dot wait sleep? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do a thread dot sleep. But I'll make it wait 1 second before the last message. But anyway, it looks like it split up the messages correctly this time. And I think it's counting in order at least. So that was good. Oh dear. I'm kind of curious to see what it does. You may need another PSU soon. Another GPU, you mean? So is it actually still processing? That's what I want to know. So the last one took 64 seconds before it responded. I think I told it, I think it'll have enough tokens to print out the majority of the numbers. Anyway, I'm interested to know where it'll get to. It's gonna time out before it'll be able to respond, because if it's doing something like 19, let's say 20 tokens per second, the HTTP request is set to 150 seconds before it times out. So it will time out before the model finishes generating the response, but also I don't know if that causes the model to stop trying to respond. Now to add, one day. Yeah, one day. We'll do a 24-hour stream just for you, Dukasoft. So anyway, the LLM will not be responding to anyone anymore for a while. Impromptu streamathon. Like I said, I am currently on a work stoppage, but I'm still just trying to keep my schedule. I know that I skipped Wednesday, but that wasn't my fault. Except it was my fault. That wasn't on purpose. That wasn't planned. But I still want to finish the stream today at the normal time. So, here's the screen. You're welcome for the stream. I thought that that was going to be 150 seconds by now, and it would give us the message, I encountered an error. There, it just happened. It just happened. It's not going to respond to you. It's still processing your message. So I'm looking at the console for it, and it doesn't give me a status of what it's doing, but it hasn't given me an exception or an output generated message. But it will get this message eventually, and it'll respond. Yeah, but anyway, that's it for me for today. My brains, my sluggishness. I need to unmute my multi-stream to see who's talking about what. Finite's in the middle of a story time. Did we raid Finite recently? Actually, I don't know who we've raided recently or not. We're probably going to raid Simple Game Dev, one of my favorite game developers that's currently streaming. Oh wait, Solo Solipsist. I didn't even realize he started. Solo Solipsist is doing mixed reality development, and that is an area that I want to get into, so I try to watch him as often as he streams. And he seems to be back. Yeah, why is my desktop audio not coming through my headphones? There, fixed it. Okay, so we're gonna raid him. Like Dukasoft posted. Where did you get that from? Like Dukasoft posted, I will be posting this video to YouTube no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream. And he's stepping away from his... Oh no, he's changing his headset out. Okay. Also, feel free to join us on Discord if you want. If you're already a part of like 80 million Discords and having another one would just be too much for you, don't worry about it. We're not that loud of a Discord server. Pretty laid back, but we do have a lot of really cool issues. Canceled because it timed out, of course. And I don't know, there's other things that I say, I guess. Here's an actual shout out for Irish John Games, if Dukasoft didn't do it. If you're not following them, follow them there. Irish John Games is another fantastic developer that I love watching, game developer. So you got Simple Game Dev, you got Irish John Games, Code Red Games, Red Cabin Games, Bardaki, all of the other peoples that are escaping my brains right now. Big Gamey. Big Gamey is streaming. Oh my gosh, Big Gamey is live now too. There's too many people to watch. So I'll be watching him too. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm out. We'll have more fun on Monday. I'll be back on Monday. Ciao for now.